Yeah, I can tell you guys just aren't ready for a wrestling war because Roman Reigns buries AEW. He buries its fan base. He is going in on everything that is all elite wrestling. I'm going to read the quote to you guys in just a little bit. Also, two very awesome stories. Well, one is awesome. The other one just sounds painful. But Minoru Suzuki is headed to Impact Wrestling. And Tony Khan was injured by the UFC fighter Junior Dos Santos. That whole thing just kind of leads to a bigger and much more important conversation. So, as always, make sure you guys click that subscribe button. Thank you for checking out DPW. Let's just kind of jump into it. So Minoru Suzuki, he has been announced for Impact Wrestling. We don't know who his opponent is going to be. We don't know what Impact's plans are, but they announced this last night during Impact Wrestling. And you might be wondering, Ango, why do you want to talk about Minoru Suzuki? Well, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have been trying to cover a little bit more of Impact Wrestling. This past 2 weeks, Impact's been doing some even cooler things. And most importantly, Impact Wrestling has been very consistent for the past year. But they were the one to truly open the forbidden door. I mean, Impact, New Japan, AAA, all of these different organizations, Impact is doing it right now. But who is Minoru Suzuki going to face? And I don't really think there's actually a lot of people on the AEW roster or WWE roster or Impact Wrestling roster who could truly go toe-to-toe with Minoru Suzuki, just because I think he is that great. He is that special. But let's look at the Impact Wrestling roster. If I have to pick anybody, hopefully it will be the new Impact Wrestling World Champion, Josh Alexander. Other than that, there's not really other matchups I can expect to happen. Sami Callihan is dealing with an injury. I guess Eddie Edwards could be part of that conversation, but these matches will be good matches that simply don't draw. And this is one of my big issues with Impact Wrestling. I've been very clear about Impact Wrestling and its production value. Despite the fact that it's creative and its wrestling matches are so great, the production value of the show makes it so hard to enjoy. I'm always watching older TNA and older Impact Wrestling stuff, and it just, for some reason in 2021, it looks like garbage. And that's just the unfortunate, sad truth, but the good news is we're going to get Minoru Suzuki. I don't know who he's going to go up against. I want to see him go up against Josh Alexander, hopefully after Bound for Glory. Maybe Josh Alexander wins the belt at Bound for Glory, Minoru Suzuki comes out and goes face-to-face. I don't know. But knowing Impact Wrestling, they'll probably give us Moose versus Minoru Suzuki, and I'm just not feeling that. All right, guys, Tony Khan has been injured by Junior Dos Santos. I don't know, man. This story has been kind of floating around, and, it kind of got me thinking about the bigger picture, because it sounds like this is old news, Arthur Ashe or something like that. Tony Khan was on the ramp. Junior Dos Santos, for some reason, hit him. I don't even think this was televised from what I'm gathering. But nonetheless, Tony Khan was injured. He tried to no-sell it. He went back to Gorilla. And he's totally cool with Junior Dos Santos totally doing this and whatnot. But this actually does concern me. Not because it's, cracked rib or whatever like that. Obviously, he's going to get over it. He's been talking about how he's been feeling better. But it concerns me that AEW is putting a whole bunch of untrained MMA wrestlers, fighters in the AEW ring. Junior Dos Santos is going to be doing a tag team match on Rampage. We also know that the Inner Circle is rumored to compete against American Top Team at Full Gear. I just see all these, I love MMA, I think everybody knows that, but I just see all of these different people that aren't really pro wrestlers, they're getting involved in pro wrestling. And I get it, MMA doesn't pay well, Dana White doesn't pay well, the UFC doesn't pay well, Bellator doesn't pay that great. They're okay, but yeah, I would want to check from AEW or WWE as well. But the problem is, if you're injuring the president and CEO of AEW, I don't know if I would trust you with trained athletes. That's just my opinion. I'm confused, to be honest with you. But hey, it's cool. Let's see what happens. I like Jorge Masvidal, so hopefully that guy goes in there and does some cool stuff to Chris Jericho. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But Rampage and Dynamite are taking place from Miami, so we'll kind of touch back on that in a little bit. All right, guys, in our final story of the day, Roman Reigns really went in on AEW. And look, I'm going to shoot straight here. I love it. I don't disagree with him, I think Roman Reigns makes a lot of sense. And to be honest with you, this is why I love the wrestling war, because I can handle it. Both companies going back and forth at each other, taking their shots. And I know you guys aren't prepared for it. Just simply, I read the comments. A vast majority of the comments here are anti-WWE. And that's totally cool. That's the point of a wrestling war. Pick your sides. But I'm going to read this quote from Roman Reigns. And I can't wait to see what you guys have to say, because I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm glad somebody from WWE had the balls to come out and talk that talk. Okay, so let's start here. This was an interview with Complex, and Roman Reigns, oh my gosh. He is talking about, just a whole bunch of stuff about wrestling and it's being subjective, whatever. But nonetheless, moving forward, he goes, so I don't see the real competition with AEW, because I think their fan base legitimately is a hardcore fan base. So there's like a ceiling and a built-in ground to that viewership. The WWE is trying to connect with everyone. We're trying to connect with the mainstream. We're trying to pull in the casual fan. We're trying to engage the new viewer while also servicing our hardcore fan base and give them compelling storylines to fulfill them as well. That right there is a corporate statement. I don't know if I've said it before, but I've said it before. When the audience is probably the biggest character in your show, that is strange to me. You'll hear it all the time. The reviews and the comparisons. I think because they are the new kids on the block, they are the cool kids in town. I guess because of how premature and how novel it kind of still is, I think they're still being babied by these hardcore wrestling fans. Woo! That is nuts. It's a great thing. Backtrack. He says, which is fine. That's great. I don't think anybody's going to ever, especially from a performance standpoint, say, oh no, there's more opportunities out there. That sucks. So it's not a bad thing. It's a great thing for professional wrestling. It's just a weird argument because there's so much bias and there's so much I'm on this side and I'm not going to open my mind to the other side. And it goes both ways. And he also says it's not competition to him. And I want to be completely honest with you guys. I think Roman Reigns actually hits it on the head. I think he is absolutely right. The AEW audience is hardcore. But I do think Roman Reigns is wrong about AEW's audience babying AEW. I do. I simply think that way because I am probably considered a hardcore fan. But I shoot straight about AEW and WWE. I don't baby anybody. I like both, and I hate both at times. So that's just kind of my opinion. But hey, Roman Reigns had the big balls to say something, and I love it. And I think you guys should love it too. If you don't love Roman Reigns talking about AEW like this, then I don't know what to say, guys. Because then you are proving Roman Reigns right that you are one-sided, and you can't be one-sided. You can't. You got to just simply enjoy the wrestling war, because that's what's happening. Raw, SmackDown, NXT versus AEW. Let's see what happens. I'm excited to see how it happens, how it goes down. But Roman Reigns buried them. Oh, and by the way, later on in the interview, he's like, yeah, nobody's as good as me. I think that's more in character stuff. But yeah, he's burying everybody. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.